Now I know you've seen a lot of paranormal clips and videos, but have you seen this? Before we show you what that's all about, you might want to psych yourself up because today's episode has wild clips like these which show cryptids and paranormal activities in ways you've never imagined. I'm Steve, this is Classified Captures. Let's take a critical look at this first clip. I consider anyone who works in security a brave person. This clip, for instance, was captured on a school camera at 2 a.m. I don't know about you, but I loved going to school as a child. Despite how much I loved school, there was no way I was going to stay there till 2 a.m. So that's definitely can't be a student. I mean, when you watch the clip over and over, it became more evident that it's not a kid. The security guard thinks it's a ghost, and I mean, well, it might as well be one. He didn't say if he went out to check what was there, and that makes me believe he didn't. He claims the facility was in full lockdown, and he was sure it was not his colleague either. When he uploaded the clip, everyone in the paranormal community believed him. That was at least until some other security personnel and experts in the comments section started stating it could most likely be image ghosting. It might have the word ghost in it, but it's not the same thing. According to the experts, it's because they're using old equipment. That's left the community divided, but what do you think? You're probably watching this and thinking, wait, is this real? Yeah, it absolutely is. What you're seeing is a furry wedding that happened in China. The couple getting married are both furries, which means they love dressing up as animal characters. Those white lion suits they're wearing weren't rented from a costume shop, by the way. They were custom-made and seriously expensive. According to people who attended, the couple chose these characters because they felt they represented their personalities and the kind of love they shared. Guests didn't just show up in regular outfits either. A bunch of them were also in full fursuits, turning the whole wedding into something straight out of a fantasy story. People who were there said it was actually emotional, with vows, speeches, and even a few tears, just all happening behind those giant fluffy hats. One person mentioned that despite how unusual it looked, it had all the warmth and meaning of a traditional wedding. At first, folks online thought it was some kind of performance or maybe a viral prank, but the couple later explained that this was 100% real and deeply personal. They said their lion personas stood for strength, loyalty, and protection, all the things they wanted in their marriage. So while it might seem wild to outsiders, for them, it was the perfect way to celebrate their love. Is this something you see yourself doing? Yes, that's another image of the Loch Ness monster. The funny thing about this image is that it looks similar to everything we've seen. Some of the clips and images we've shown previously on this channel have the same features as this. This can only mean one thing. The Nessie is real, or someone or a group of very dedicated people love it so much that they keep making their own digital creations based on the popular images of Nessie. Don't tell the Nessie believers I said that, though. Take a look at these past images and captures, too. Don't they look similar? It's wild when you think about how long this mystery has lasted. The very first written account of a Nessie-like creature goes all the way back to 565 AD, when Saint Columba reportedly saw a water beast attack a swimmer in the River Ness. Fast forward to 1933, and the Loch Ness monster exploded into global consciousness after a couple spotted a large creature rolling in the loch. That sighting, along with the infamous 1934 surgeon's photograph, gave Nessie a look, a dinosaur-like head and neck that has somehow stayed consistent across decades of sightings, from film to drone footage. What's more bizarre is how, even though the most recent captures, satellite snaps, sonar hits, and drone videos still echo that same shape, long body, curved neck, mysterious wake, Either the same creature has been photobombing humanity for nearly a century, or something about that silhouette is burrowed into our collective imagination. Maybe it's a prehistoric survivor, maybe it's a brilliant long-running hoax, or maybe, just maybe, Loch Ness hides more than just dark water. Imagine going to bed, drifting into a dream, and waking up to watch it play back like a movie. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, not anymore. Scientists have developed an experimental headset powered by artificial intelligence and brain scanning technology. They can record and replay your dreams. Using fMRI to scan brain activity and advanced AI models to decode the visuals, this device captures what you see in your sleep and attempts to reconstruct it in actual images. It's like peering into the deepest corners of your subconscious and watching the footage. While it's still in its early stages, the implications are both fascinating and eerie. The AI doesn't just guess, you train it with your own brain data. Eventually, it starts recognizing your dreams and what they look like based on how your neurons fire. Think of it as a dream translator, turning abstract thoughts and visions into something real and watchable. Some of the test subjects even claimed the images matched the feelings of their dreams, not just the visuals. Now imagine where this could go, controlling dreams, recording them, even modifying them. But here's where it gets wild. What if this technology falls into the wrong hands? What if governments or secret agencies, already rumored to have been experimenting with dream control since the Cold War, used it to spy on the unconscious mind? What if someone could extract memories you thought were long buried, or worse, plant new ones while you sleep? Pause and think about that. Maybe this headset is just the beginning, and the dream world is about to become the next battlefield. I know you're about to scream not possible, but think of all the things AI has learned to do in less than a decade. Do you still think it's impossible? So we aren't told who these two dudes are, but we are told that there's something in the clip with them. The clip starts off ordinarily showing us two brothers or friends taking a picture after hanging out during the night or before the hangout. It's just guesswork here, so we aren't given the specifics. Anyway, while they look around, a small humanoid creature peers out at them from one of the buildings. It remains careful enough to avoid being detected. The individuals in the clip don't appear to immediately notice, but the fact that this was uploaded online means they noticed sometime after. Many who saw the clip believe it was staged. A few others felt those who thought it was staged were just misinformed. They believe the humanoid being or creature was most likely a duende. We've spoken about these mischievous beings a lot. You've seen the clip, so do you think it's the real deal? This was uploaded by an individual who came across chemtrails in the sky. He wasn't exactly sure what he was looking at, but he started to realize that these chemtrails had shadows in them. Yeah, as if something invisible or cloaked was flying through the sky, casting a faint silhouette behind the trail. What's more, there were also circular trails, perfectly circular, lingering above him like some kind of celestial crop circle. This got the individual confused and maybe even a little scared. He uploaded the images online and simply asked, "What are they preparing for us?" For those unfamiliar with them, chemtrails are the white lines you often see streaking across the sky left behind by aircraft. Official explanations call them contrails, just harmless water vapor, but not everyone buys that. Some believe chemtrails are part of a global geoengineering operation. Theories range from weather manipulation and population control to even more sinister claims like the spread of nanotechnology or mood-altering chemicals. And now, with these strange shadows and loops, it's almost as if something or someone wants to be seen, but only partly. Here's the creepy part. In 2015, a leaked patent surfaced showing technology that could project 3D holograms into the sky using aerosols as a medium. Could the circular chemtrails be part of this, a test, A warning? And why do some of these trails only show up in certain neighborhoods and not in others? It raises an uncomfortable question. Are we being watched, tested, or prepared for something we can't even comprehend yet? One thing's for sure, the sky is not as innocent as it looks. Have you ever taken a photograph during a lightning strike? No? Then you might find these images downright bizarre. Look closely. One half of the sky is lit up like it's broad daylight, while the other half is trapped in darkness. It almost looks glitched. The person who captured these photos swears it's evidence that we're living in some kind of simulation, like a momentary rendering error in the fabric of our reality. A flash of lightning, nature's electric fingerprint, briefly pulls back the curtain and exposes a bug in the system. But not everyone agrees. The top comment under the post suggests a far more grounded theory, that it's simply a camera malfunction. Lightning moves insanely fast, faster than the sensor in most digital cameras can handle. So what we're seeing might just be the camera capturing only half a frame before the light overwhelmed it. Still, doesn't it make you wonder? If a bolt of lightning can cause the world to look split in two, light versus dark, rendered versus missing, maybe it's not just a camera glitch, maybe it's a glimpse into something bigger, something we're not supposed to see. But hey, what do we know? We're just YouTubers who have watched thousands of clips most elite organizations wouldn't want anyone seeing. That's if the conspiracies surrounding them are true. Anyway, let's move on to the next clip before someone starts stalking us. Someone asked us to take a look at this clip and see if we could say anything about it. The clip features a tree moving from one spot to the other. The strange thing about this tree is, it's a very big tree and not one anyone can simply pick up and move to another location. This makes the theory of someone carrying it null and void. The only other explanation is that the tree is walking on its own, which sounds bizarre, I know. When I was a child, I almost got into trouble because I argued with my teacher that trees could walk, and only did so when we weren't watching because they didn't want us to learn their ways. Despite the attempts of my science teacher to explain things to me, I almost called him ignorant. They initially thought it was cute until it wasn't. Imagine my shock when I received this clip in our mail with someone who had his last name, yet not his first. I had to mail back and make sure it was not my teacher. I mean, what would be the odds? After a little back and forth, the individual confirmed he wasn't my science teacher and didn't know me from anywhere else but the channel. It scares me to once again say the trees are walking, but I'm tempted too. We've, however, posted a clip like this once where the one filming believed it was Bigfoot carrying the tree. I'd avoid making comments just in case this is you, Sir O'Brien. You'll not have me a second time. Anyway, what do you guys think? Moving on, we got another clip of something else that's not supposed to be able to move. In the clip, we see a beautiful young lady taking a selfie video with a statue in the background. We see what looks like a bronze statue standing beneath a light. The lady filming claims she can see it move, but sincerely we don't see much, at least from my end. She moves on to the other areas and we see other statues, and at some point she felt it was the same statue following her, but she mentions that it's not. There are some in the paranormal community who believe the ladies might be right. A few others shared similar experiences from the same area, which is Springfield, by the way. Some pointed out that it might be pareidolia, and a few mentioned that there are performers who pretend to be statues. Those people usually only come out during the day, though. The easiest way to solve this is to ask someone who lives in Springfield to comment. Homer Simpson, are you out there? So if there's anyone who lives in Springfield amongst our family here, please do comment. We want nothing but the truth.
Okay, that? Okay, I don't think seriously. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? That's a statue, right? He's gotta tell me that's a statue. It's gotta be a statue. It's made of bronze. I hope, dear God. What the f***? Springfield, make better choices. Okay, that is terrifying at night. Put a light on that.
Why are you looking at me like that? She is beautiful. What can I say?
And I can still operate it the same way as if it was attached. Make it move.
That is incredible.
I know you're wondering if this is real. Somehow the arm was detached from her hand and she's still able to move it. The fingers are curling, reacting like they're still part of a body. She's controlling it even though it's no longer attached. This is the Hero arm. It's being developed by a UK startup called Open Bionics, and what you're watching isn't a sci-fi film, it's real. The arm is using muscle signals from her stump, translating them into motion. What's wild is that it's now wireless, completely functional even when removed. It's lightweight and customizable. It's not just a medical tool anymore, it's becoming something more. And now, the questions are starting to creep in. Why build a limb that works off the body? What makes it wireless? Is this just about freedom for amputees, or is it something bigger that's being tested here? It sounds like an odd thing to ask, especially when amputees are being helped by the technology, but think of its military applications and what could be done with it. Think of all the sci-fi movies we've seen, and even movies like Power Rangers. If they can pull this off with amputees, why can't there be military applications like that? What if they're just using them as a way to raise funds and get the research going? Well, maybe I'm overthinking it, but you never know. On to the next clip.
You operate that arm when it's not attached to you?
Yes. So that's the thing, and we've posted about it on social media, and that's what everybody is like, this is crazy, mind-blowing.
Oh, we've got to see this.
Yes.
We have.
I'll just help
Crazy.
Tilly.
Completely wireless, so you can actually just detach the hand like that.
And you're thinking about it.
And I can still operate it the same way as if it was attached. Make it move.
That is
Across the
incredible.
table.
That's
That is
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Would you dress your baby in this? Celine Dion thinks you should. What if I told you that Celine Dion, yes, the same woman behind My Heart Will Go On, has a baby clothing line that some people are calling demonic? You're watching the video right now. The line is called Celine Nunu, and at first glance, it just looks like edgy black and white baby fashion that doesn't stick to traditional boy or girl colors. But once you take a closer look, things start to feel a little off. People have pointed out some pretty strange symbols on the clothes: skulls, stars, crosses, and even the phrase New Order. Some say it's just artsy and modern, but others believe there's something more sinister going on. There's even a scene in the promo video where Celine walks into a hospital nursery, blows black glitter into the air, and magically changes all the pink and blue clothes into neutral, darker tones. Creepy, right? Or is it just a message? A Catholic exorcist actually came out and said the whole thing was satanic, and he wasn't the only one. Conspiracy theorists started linking the brand to Illuminati symbols and secret agendas. The idea is that this is not just fashion, it's a subtle push to blur gender, erase innocence, and ease kids into a world of occult influence. Celine says that's nonsense. According to her, the line is just about giving kids the freedom to express themselves however they want. But if that's really all it is, why does it feel like there's something darker hidden in plain sight? What do you think? Is it just cool fashion for modern kids, or are we looking at something more mysterious? Celine Dion isn't the only spooky woman out there. This feminine-looking entity was captured by a home security system and it's left the owner stumped. In the clip, we see what looks like a woman dressed in a gown moving from one side of the room to the other. She appears just behind the stairs and doesn't say anything to anyone or do anything. The owner insists they've no one like that living in their home and that no one broke into their home that particular day as well. When members of the online fraternity read his submission, they told him his family simply had a ghost living with them. Being the atheist he is, he refuted it and wanted a more grounded explanation. A theory explaining how it can be a ghost is something I can easily give. A grounded one, comforting him that he has no ghost, is one I can't, however, give him. If you had the chance to speak to him in a situation, what would you tell him? This is another clip that was sent to us as evidence of the existence of lizard people. I was about to do a strong expose on this when our intern broke down in tears. She told me she's familiar with the gaze, and it's not necessarily because the person is a lizard person. She apparently has a family member who takes stimulants sometimes to help with her depression, and she claims that it sometimes gives the person an odd gaze and makes the person act socially awkward. I'm sharing this with her permission, of course, but it's a touchy subject for her. What do you guys think? Could this simply be a person on medication, or is there more to this, say a lizard person pretending to be human? Elon Musk has been under fire all year long, and clips like this don't make it any easier. It's been a long-standing theory that Elon himself doesn't make public appearances and that he has clones to show up in public spaces. While not everyone's buying it, it's a surprisingly popular idea. Some people point out how his facial expressions shift from one event to another. Others claim his mannerisms, speech patterns, and even eye colors seem slightly different depending on where he's seen. There are slowed-down videos online that supposedly catch him glitching, delayed reactions, unusual stares, or moments where he seems disconnected from his surroundings. Now here's the grounded part. Elon has openly stated that he's on the autism spectrum. That could explain a lot of what people are quick to label as odd or robotic. Many of the traits conspiracy theorists point to, like unusual social behavior or inconsistent body language, can simply be part of how he processes the world. But of course, the internet never stops at logic. Some theories dive much deeper. There are claims that he's developed cloning technology through secret experiments and that these clones are sent to public events in his place. Others believe they're not even looking at a person at all, but a sophisticated AI biohybrid designed to steer humanity into a new digital age. Then there's the Neuralink angle. Some say the chip isn't just for brain-computer interfaces, it's how Elon stays connected to his doubles, a remote-controlled switchboard for a growing network of Musk units. Is it out there? Definitely, but in today's world where tech is evolving faster than we can track it, even the wildest theories have people asking, what if? Because when a man builds rockets, brain chips, and cars that drive themselves, sometimes reality starts to feel a lot more like science fiction. Would you drive on a road that's between two cemeteries at night, especially when you've been told strange things happen to people who do? I know I wouldn't, but the man whose dash cam recorded this did. He ignored all warnings and stories and went through the place. As he was going through the path, it looked normal and quiet till something crossed him. It was a strange, floating figure, and it scared the living daylights out of him. Did I say daylight? You know what I mean, it's already night after all. Anyway, he told everyone his experience, and initially they ignored him, thinking he was making fun of them, till he showed them this clip. He also uploaded it online seeking answers, and everyone told him he was lucky to be alive. No one could, however, tell him what he'd encountered. Can you guys solve the mystery? Have you ever had to deal with a spooky kid? Well, this woman had to. While waiting for her niece, she started to record a child who was moving strangely on the neighbor's porch. She looked like she was either communing with something or performing a ritual. Personally, I felt she might have been rehearsing for a play or recital. That was at least the case, until she vanished after the woman slightly moved the camera away. Some have argued that she could have just gone inside or sat on the floor because she noticed the woman was filming. Aaron doesn't think so. He believes there's something going on with the child and that they should call an exorcist. Julius thinks that makes no sense because she's just a child being a child. I know better than to get in an argument involving those two, but you guys have seen the clip, so what do you think? Did you know there are tunnels under a city in Florida that no one really talks about? No one knows when they were built or even who built them. They just exist, hidden beneath our feet, and that's not even the strangest part. Under the original post about these tunnels, one commenter chimed in with a bold claim. They said that these are part of something called the Potomac Tunnel System, an underground network that supposedly runs beneath all major cities. According to them, Philadelphia has plenty of these tunnels, and they even lead to what they call the original White House in Lamont, Pennsylvania. They also mentioned that something similar was shown in the movie Ghostbusters, the scene where Ray gets lowered into the subway tunnel that leads to some creepy sub-level. Sounds wild, right? So I did some digging. Lamont, Pennsylvania is real, but there's no solid record of an original White House ever being built there. The official White House was built in Washington, D.C. since 1800, and the Potomac Tunnel System? Well, there's no public documentation proving anything like that exists. The Potomac is definitely a real river that runs through D.C., but a nationwide tunnel system bearing that name, nothing is confirmed. Still, that hasn't stopped the theories. There are long-standing claims about deep underground military bases, hidden government transit systems, and secret tunnels stretching across the country. Some people believe these tunnels are used for classified missions, secret bunkers, even strange rituals or contact with things not entirely human. So what are we looking at under Florida? A lost piece of history, a forgotten project, or something that was never meant to be found? Sometimes the truth really does lie just beneath the surface. So, this footage was captured by a doorbell cam belonging to one Steve. I promise it's not me. Either way, Steve's camera captured this mist moving through the room and leaving behind what looked like a smoky trail. Usually, the logical fraternity argued that it had to be insects or something similar. When it came to this one, however, they were stumped because of the see-through nature of the mist as well as the trail it left behind. I've watched the clip several times and I have questions too. Perhaps it's simply what it looks like, a ghost. Perhaps it could be something a bit more grounded. We've no way of proving it, but that doesn't stop you from sharing your opinion. So what do you think we're dealing with here? So we've already looked at a mechanical arm that can be controlled from afar. Why not look into a mechanical head too? The head on your screen is supposed to belong to an intelligent companion robot. There's someone interacting with it and she sounds Chinese. Although her English is limited, the robot somehow understands and responds to her accurately. If it's not all pre-programmed, well, then this is interesting. Are we getting closer and closer to intelligent robots that will be less dependent on us and able to make intelligent decisions? It sounds interesting, but it's a double-edged sword.
Speak English. Emma.
Has been switched to English words.
How are you?
I'm just a text at JSI, so I don't have feelings or experiences, but I'm here and ready to assist you. How can I help you today?
What's your name?
My name is Emma.
You are very beautiful.
Thank you for the compliment. If you have any questions or need assistance with something, feel free to ask.
Do you have a butterfly?
As an AI, I don't have personal experiences or family members, so I don't have a boy or any children.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
When I begin to experience anything I believe is paranormal, the first thing I do is leave the location and try to find help. For some odd reason, however, the man whose security camera recorded what you're watching stayed. He started hearing disembodied spirits in his home, and after doing everything he could to track them, he failed to determine where the sounds were coming from. He then resorted to what most people do: security cams and motion detection systems. After installing the system, he was home alone one day when it went off. He checked the camera and saw what looked like a woman moving from one point to the other. Bear in mind that he was home alone and did not expect anyone to be there with him. He watched the clip over and over, and he couldn't make the person out, as no one living with him looked like that. He was told to consider the possibility of it being a spirit being, but that was a tough pill to swallow. He then uploaded it online, hoping someone would give him a different explanation, but all said the same thing: it had to be paranormal, especially since there were no signs of a break-in. I know I've already talked about the Loch Ness monster on this channel, but take a look at this new clip of one that was sent to us via email. The sender says he didn't film it himself, but found it on another page and figured we'd want to see it. And honestly, he was right. This one's from Scotland, if the information provided is right. Apparently, it was taken early one misty June morning by a group of kayakers. You can see this massive snake-like figure gliding just beneath the surface of the loch. Witnesses say it was at least 30 feet long, with a humped back, moving slowly but deliberately before disappearing into what looked like a sudden whirlpool. Yeah, that's the part that really got me. But get this. A local fisherman who's lived by the loch for over 40 years says he felt strange vibrations in the water just before it happened. There were also some weird sonar readings. One veteran Nessie hunter described it like this: "The loch felt alive that morning, like something ancient had awakened." That's creepy in the best way. Now the theories are flying. Some still believe Nessie is a surviving dinosaur, a plesiosaur that somehow dodged extinction. Others think it could be a giant eel or some unknown creature that hides in underwater tunnels. And then there are the deep-end theories that Loch Ness is actually a thin place between dimensions, and what you are seeing isn't even from this world. Some say electromagnetic spikes and sudden weather shifts always seem to line up with sightings like these. At this point, it's starting to look like more individuals have seen a Nessie than we initially thought. If you've seen one, please do share your experiences via email or in the comments section. The loch felt alive that morning, like something ancient had awakened. While you do that, take a look at this clip from Miami. In it, we see what looks like a triangular UFO flying in the sky. Nothing special, right? We've seen thousands of UFO clips at this point in time do just that. That's not all, though. Keep watching. Did you catch that? The craft dropped a pod. We've never really seen UFOs do things like this. Some think it's alien and it's either dropping scouts or it's tech into the ground to scan and investigate the area. Not everyone is convinced it's alien, though. There are some who feel that the way the lights are set up on it is a sign that this is man-made. They think it's a drone delivering something. As plausible as that sounds, I think an exercise like that would have been in the news, right? Anyway, let's hear your thoughts too. What do you think's going on here? Have you ever taken a live photograph and seen the silhouette of a man behind you? Me neither, but for the lady in this clip, it happened. She and her friends were alone at an unnamed location when her mom requested to see who she was with. She then took a live photo to send to her mom, and when she looked at the photograph, however, there was a dark figure behind them, only visible when the image went a bit dark. They double-checked, and there was really no one behind them. She stated that it scared the living daylights out of them, and I would be scared too if it were me. Our intern, however, believes that she might have been out with guys and faked the whole scary silhouette thing after sending it to her mom without paying attention to what she was sending. What do you guys think, though? Now, this clip was uploaded by a concerned mother. She saw her daughter leading a woman up the stairs and speaking to her. Her daughter called this strange woman Nana as she led her up. The thing about this clip is they didn't live with anyone. There was certainly no older woman for the child to be leading up the stairs. Also, the word Nana is the word for grandma, and although the lady didn't say much, her tone implied that the child's grandma was most likely dead. So seeing this naturally freaked her out, and she uploaded the clip online seeking answers. There are some who think it's an evil spirit and a few others who believe it's the spirit of the child's grandma playing with her. Not everyone buys it though. Some think it's all for the buzz, and there's a small sect of the community that believes the clip was uploaded by the child's mother, but someone seeking to go viral online. When you've seen the clip, so what do you think? Is there a chance that this is a genuine spirit? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. I walked into the office earlier this month expecting just another regular day, grab some coffee, clear some emails, and maybe survive a few awkward Zoom calls. But the moment I sat down, my intern sent a message that caught me off guard. We need to change all our passwords immediately. I laughed. Why? Did a hacker go send you a warning? But she didn't smile. Instead, she dropped a link to a Forbes article dating June the 19th, 2025, and that's when things took a strange turn. According to the report, researchers have uncovered a massive collection of stolen login credentials, not a few thousand, not a few million, over 16 billion passwords. It wasn't from a single data breach either. These came from 30 different leaks combined into one giant unsettling dump. Some of it was taken from malware that secretly recorded login details. Some came from dark web marketplaces, and some, well, no one's exactly sure where those came from. Big names were involved: Apple, Google, Facebook, Telegram, and even government accounts. All of it just floated out there like someone had been quietly watching and collecting for years. Some think it's the government, others think it's an elitist institution. You've seen the clip and most likely read the article, so what are your thoughts? Also, change your password, just to be safe. Here we see a tornado doing its thing as a force of nature on a rampage. Just look how it blows a car off the ground and bangs it back down. And the trees, they look like they're about to be uprooted from the ground. The most terrifying part is the sparks, which I'm suspecting might be coming from the electrical poles fixed in its path. The last thing anyone would want is to be near something like this. It's both terrifying and mesmerizing at the same time. Don't you agree? Next, we visit the mountains of Romania. This is one of those unaware clips where the individual in question captures something without knowing it till he's home. Enjoy. This is the image he captured. If you look closely behind the pile of twigs, you'll notice a creature with a striking primate resemblance. You don't need to zoom in to have an image of Bigfoot take over your imagination. As intriguing as the capture is, we've got to ask, why was Bigfoot there? Was he stalking the man? Did they accidentally cross paths? Or did it have something sinister planned? Either way, you have to agree that the man is quite fortunate that despite being so close in proximity to the creature, nothing funny or remotely dangerous happened to him, even if Bigfoots don't have a reputation for being violent. I'm not entirely certain if this is a glitch in the Matrix or some sort of meteor shower gone awry. Those peculiar lights descending from the sky and plunging into the river are certainly out of the ordinary. While some speculate that it might be fireworks cascading into the water, we can't be entirely certain of that explanation. There's an eerie quality to the event that leaves room for doubt. What's your take on it? This video was recorded on February the 4th, 2024 from a passenger plane flying at 30,000 feet. While filming, the camera captured a peculiar object hidden among the clouds beneath the plane. The craft was not immediately visible as it did not resemble your typical aircraft or any other known object for that matter. It's unclear why the craft was hidden among the clouds, and this raises many questions about its origin and purpose. Could it be some sort of experimental aircraft or perhaps a hidden military vehicle? Alternatively, some have suggested that it could be a case of pareidolia, the tendency for the human brain to perceive patterns and shapes where none exist. Regardless of its true nature, this strange sighting has sparked a great deal of curiosity and speculation among those who've seen the footage. Many are eager to learn more about the craft and what it could mean for the future of aviation and space travel. While driving late at night, a diver came across a strange figure on the side of the road. The figure wasn't that big, but it looked very scary and eerie. It spotted a pair of glowing eyes that resembled flames. The figure did not resemble any type of human, leaving all who saw it with a wide range of theories and speculations on what the figure could be. One theory that runs through is that we are seeing what could be the legendary and mysterious Mothman. While I want it to be, it could also be just someone in a convincing Halloween costume looking for a ride. What do you think? Next, we have footage from a hiker in Utah who spotted a bizarre-looking creature walking through the woods. From the footage, we can tell that the creature had dark fur and stood about 7 feet tall. Unlike a Sasquatch, the creature had long arms that it used to move reminiscent of a gorilla. If you pay attention, you'll hear something odd when it moves.
Holy shit.
Sounds like metal, does it not? That's had me becoming skeptical about the whole thing. Why would a Sasquatch's footsteps sound metallic? It doesn't add up now, does it? We did the research and found out that there are times when hunters will wear a ghillie suit and move on stilts. Looking at the footage, I'm convinced that that's what we may be dealing with. What do you think? Next, we have this massive, pale-colored creature emerge from the water, resembling a giant tongue as it wriggles with an eerie grace. But here's the kicker. This peculiar entity is devoid of any discernible features. No eyes, no nose, just a smooth, featureless surface undulating in the currents. Now, what could this mysterious phenomenon possibly be? Is it a previously undiscovered sea creature lurking in the depths and defying all attempts at classification? Or could it be a relic of some ancient, otherworldly entity emerging to confound and astonish unsuspecting observers? The possibilities are as vast as the ocean itself, leaving us to wonder and speculate about the secrets that lie beneath the waves. During the winter of 2018, a hiker was taking a leisurely walk through the snow-covered terrain of Oklahoma when he stumbled upon a strange and unusual footprint. Upon closer examination, the hiker realized that it was not a footprint of a regular animal, but had 3 distinct clawed toes and an upper part of the foot that was wider than the lower part. The hiker took a picture of the print with his foot beside it to show the stark difference in size. It was clear that this print was much larger than a regular animal's, leading to the assumption that it was made by a big animal. But what animal exactly could it be? After sharing the picture online, some suggested that it could be the footprint of a dogman, a cryptid creature that is said to have the characteristics of both a human and a canine. While there's no concrete evidence to support this theory, the strange characteristics of the footprint have certainly piqued the curiosity of many. What do you think about this intriguing discovery? A hiker on the Colorado mountains spotted what he believed to be a Sasquatch back in 2009. The creature was hiding behind some rocks looking at the hikers. It had brown fur. For those who don't know, these parts are like the hot spots for Bigfoot sightings. The sightings are so often that it's almost like a rite of passage to spot one there. Once the hiker in question noticed the creature, the brave soul decided to go back and investigate the spot. He wanted to make sure he had really seen what he had seen. What does he find when he goes back? No Bigfoot, no, just a pile of straw. Was Bigfoot camping there, or did it put the straw there to mislead the hiker? Share your thoughts. For our next footage, you might want to hold on to your hats because we've got some weather drama brewing right in your backyard shed. Imagine this. Someone's just puttering around, maybe looking for a hammer or contemplating the mysteries of life, when, out of nowhere, he or she stumbles upon the meteorological marvel of the century, a mini whirlwind forming inside the shed. There it is, this mini whirlwind, a twirling dance of white smoke coming from the ceiling. I'm no meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure this isn't how things are formed. What could have caused it? Is it natural? Who knew your shed could be the birthplace of weather phenomena? Anyone who subscribed to this channel knows we love our big guy. In fact, there are lots of clips on this channel featuring the big guy. There are some that were very convincing and some we flat out thought had to be false. We thought we'd seen it all until this clip was sent to us.
Oh my gosh, please tell me you're getting this. Are you getting this? Yeah, I'm videotaping it. Oh my gosh, this is insane.
Yes, that's a relatively short clip by our Bigfoot standards, but did you guys notice something? The big guy was not walking or moving slowly and steadily like we're used to. Even the calculated walk was not seen. The big guy appears to be somewhat leaping, and that's a first for us. In fact, we weren't the only ones who thought so. We did some digging around, and it turns out that this was filmed in 2015. The reason it looks blurry is because it has been zoomed in several times over and brightened to reveal the Bigfoot, which was quite a distance from the one who took the clip. Apparently, there was a lot of skepticism on the legitimacy of the clip once it hit the internet, since many people believe Bigfoots don't move that fast. They even nicknamed the creature the Leaping Yeti. Although they didn't think it was a Bigfoot, they agreed that the creature was real. Even though it's not been seen since, it remains one of the most intriguing clips among the Russian paranormal and cryptid community. While we're used to a certain definition of Bigfoot, do you think it's possible that there's a creature out there the size of Bigfoot that moves like that? We can't confirm or dismiss it without further evidence, but you can at least share your thoughts, and we'll be glad to hear them.
Is that? Oh my gosh, please tell me you're getting this. Are you getting this? Yeah, I'm videotaping it. Oh my gosh, this is insane.
이 설왕설래를 낳고 있던데 수많은 목격담도 이어지고 있고 말이죠. 자, 그런데 오늘은
Next, we have this footage from Korea that was captured on the 8th of April 2024. This was during the eclipse that was not readily visible from Seoul, Korea. In this footage, a mysterious object zooms across the sky, leaving viewers astonished. The video, captured by a golfer, shows a dark, unidentified object appearing suddenly and then disappearing as quickly as it did. The object's remarkable speed and agility surpass typical aircraft or drones, which is very curious. The footage caught the attention of the news, which dubbed it a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Despite attempts to analyze and enhance the footage, the object remains elusive, appearing as a blur due to its rapid movement. Some have naturally assumed it's a spacecraft taking advantage of the eclipse, while others think it might be something else entirely. Regardless, no one truly knows what's happening, and with no concrete evidence or definitive explanations, the true nature of this UAP remains unknown. We have reason to, however, believe that that's not the first time whatever it was has zoomed through the atmosphere. Before we move on to the next one, do tell me something. Would you camp out in an area rumored to have Bigfoots just to prove their existence? Or does this sound like a dumb and unsafe idea? Share your thoughts in the comment section. You know, there are times when I pretend to not know something just so you guys can tell me what it is. Well, this isn't one of those times. I genuinely have no idea what the creature in the next clip is. Perhaps you can help. Does it look like anything that you've ever seen or handled? No one in my team knows what it is, and I certainly don't have an idea what it is either. I've combed the internet, but just didn't know how to describe it to bring it up. Given the fact that the one recording the footage is wearing gloves, I'm pretty sure it's either poisonous or venomous. But what is it really? If you have answers, please share them with us in the comment section. We really want to know. A hiker came across this strange structure in the middle of the woods. It was a cave made out of branches that had been carefully put together. Who or what could have made this cave in the middle of the woods? Some skeptics are leaning toward the idea that this might just be a hunter's hideout, but the true paranormal enthusiasts are throwing their bets on it being a Bigfoot cave. Because, you know, nothing says Bigfoot was here like a carefully crafted branch cave. What do you think is the truth behind the structure? Is it just some DIY project by an over-enthusiastic camper, or did Bigfoot pull a grand design move in the heart of the forest? Throughout history, dinosaurs have remained a topic of fascination for humanity. Even today, their existence and extinction continues to captivate our imagination. To unlock the mysteries surrounding these magnificent creatures, archaeologists have studied cave paintings dating back several centuries. This leads us to a cave located in Borneo's East Kalimantan province. Here, scientists have found the oldest figurative painting in the world. The painting is of wild cattle and is estimated to be around 40,000 years old. The painting is part of a larger panel with other animal paintings, stencils, and designs, and was made using iron oxide pigment. The cave Lubang Jerichi Sala has thousands of rock art images, providing insight into the ancient history of our planet and the creatures that used to walk the earth. They aren't just rough sketches hastily thrown together. Oh no, these are intricate depictions painstakingly crafted using iron oxide pigment, with every scale and contour lovingly rendered for all to behold. Discoveries like this help researchers learn even more about our past. While those ones are easier to understand, there are also paintings like these that have scientists scratching their heads. The one who posted it refused to tell us where it's from, but a quick look at these images and you can tell they're depicting dinosaurs. But how? Aren't dinosaurs supposed to have died off millions of years ago? How is it our distant ancestors had images of them? This naturally led to a lot of debate on the paranormal platforms. Some thought this was proof that the dinosaurs still walk amongst us. Some people thought this was proof of the Hollow Earth theory, which has been visualized in modern cinema using the recent King Kong and Godzilla movie. As the debate raged on, one member of the paranormal community made a profound statement. He stated that our ancestors could have found their remains in much better shape than we have found today, which is why they could have such vivid drawings of them. When you think about it, well, that's actually logical. Is that the case, though? Until research in this area advances, we will never know for sure. But what do you think? Above the clouds, an interesting object was captured that left many wondering what it could be. The object has a unique shape with a horizontal top and a vertical part that resembles a hammer, starting from the middle downwards. It floated above the clouds for some time, casting a shadow on the clouds below. As it slowly descended into the clouds, it gradually vanished from view. The mysterious object left many wondering about its origin and purpose. Some believe it was a UFO, while others think it may have been a weather balloon or some other type of experimental aircraft. More outlandish theories propose that it was an interdimensional being or even a top-secret military craft. What do you think it is? This footage was taken this year in Orlando, Florida. A man spotted this colorful, almost transparent diamond-shaped object in the sky. The sighting has sparked quite a debate. Some people are convinced that this is a UFO, an extraterrestrial craft visiting Earth. The object's unique shape, vibrant colors, and semi-transparent appearance are unlike anything typically seen in the skies, leading to many believe it must be of alien origin. On the other hand, skeptics argue that this could simply be a holographic projection. While advances in holographic technology create realistic three-dimensional images in the sky, it's becoming increasingly possible. Events and promotional stunts have utilized such technology, projecting detailed and eye-catching visuals to capture audiences. The unusual characteristics of the object, its transparency and the way it seems to shimmer and change color, could be indicative of a high-quality holographic display. There's also the possibility of Project Bluebeam being responsible, but then again, I could just be overthinking things. So what do you guys think is going on here? Do you believe you are a daredevil or know anyone who is? Would any of you be willing to try this? Yeah, that's a lady going up some stairs that are deserving of the title The Stairway to Heaven. Now, I can tell you where this is and why it's so, but thought we'd make this interactive. Which one of you knows where this clip is from and why the stairs there appear like this? If anyone gives an answer Julius approves, maybe, just maybe, you could have a merch with your name on it, assuming Aaron accepts as well. May the best man or woman win. Just take a look at this. It's a waterfall of fire cascading down the mountain, creating a mesmerizing scene before my eyes.
It just won't stop.
This is the legendary Yosemite Firefall, a spectacle that occurs every year from mid to late February when the sunset hits Yosemite's Horsetail Fall at a particular angle, giving it the illusion of a molten lava-like stream of fire. The contrast between the bright orange and red hues of the firefall and the dark, rugged landscape of the mountain creates an awe-inspiring vision that's hard to replicate. The Yosemite Firefall is a phenomenon that has been captivating people's imaginations for decades. It's a rare occurrence, and it lasts only for a short period, making it all the more special. It's a remarkable reminder of how nature can be both beautiful and powerful, and it's an unforgettable experience for anyone lucky enough to have witnessed it. If the devil were to walk among us, perhaps this is the form he would take. This chilling encounter was reported by someone who stumbled upon this enigmatic being perched on a hill in the dead of night. With its back turned to the camera, the creature's silhouette reveals a pair of ominous wings unfurling from its back and a horn-like projection. While it's reminiscent of the gargoyle, this entity appears larger and more human-like, evoking an unsettling aura of malevolence. Could this truly be the devil manifesting in our midst, or is there another explanation for this unearthly presence? This footage was taken on Christmas Island, and what you're looking at is not ants, but millions of crabs migrating from the water onto the island. These crabs are so small that they might look like spiders at first glance, but they're definitely crabs. Christmas Island is famous for this incredible natural phenomenon. Each year, millions of red crabs make their way from the forest to the ocean to spawn. During this migration, the crabs cover the island, turning roads, beaches, and even people's yards into a sea of moving red. In the footage, you can see them swarming over every available surface. Despite their small size, their sheer numbers create an almost surreal scene. It's as if the ground itself is alive and moving. It's a fascinating and slightly eerie sight, as these tiny creatures seem to overwhelm everything in their path. The crabs are driven by a strong instinct to reproduce. They leave their burrows in the forest and head toward the sea to lay their eggs. This mass migration is triggered by the onset of the rainy season, which provides the moist conditions they need to survive the journey. There are allegedly many secrets in this world that we, the regular people, do not know and cannot understand. One intriguing example involves this man who took a €100 bill and put it under a microscope. First, he zoomed in on the image of the bridge. Just above the bridge, he noticed a tiny disc-shaped object that looked remarkably like a UFO. Intrigued, he continued to examine other parts of the bill. When he zoomed in on the purple-colored inscription of 100 in the corner of the bill, he saw something even more surprising: the head of an alien with large black eyes. As he explored further, he found strange vertical markings on another side of the note. These markings resemble the digital rain of numbers from the Matrix movie, with a line vertically crossing through them. These were just a few of the unusual details he discovered. While I don't know how credible these findings are, if these symbols and images are indeed present on the €100 note, it raises many questions. Why would such images be placed there? What purposes do they serve? Are they meant to convey a message to those in the know, or are they simply a form of artistic expression? Also, if you've gone on one of those bills at home, could you check if yours has the same features? A couple were enjoying a peaceful camping trip in the forest until they discovered a strange print on the car window. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was a handprint that looked greasy and emitted an unpleasant odor. Initially, the man thought that his girlfriend was playing a prank on him, but she insisted that she had nothing to do with it.
I swear to God I'm not with you. That is what me up right there.
The handprint was slightly larger than that of a human and had distinctive features that resembled those of an animal, specifically a primate. It was a puzzling sight, and they couldn't help but wonder which animal could have left such a mark. Could it be a monkey, an ape, a gorilla, the legendary Bigfoot, or the famed and even more elusive Dogman? They carefully examined the print, trying to discern any clues that could help them solve this mystery. I have my own theories too, but today I want to hear yours. What do you think could have left such a mark? After a tsunami hit Japan, this creature was found washed up on the shores. It looks like a jellyfish without its tentacles. It was pinkish, and when someone used a stick to turn it over, they found the opening and its surface were sticky. As if this was not weird enough, someone decides to pour a bottle of Coke over this mysterious being, and to everyone's amazement, it reacts by shooting out white fluids. So what in the world could this strange creature possibly be? Is it a denizen of the deep, or perhaps it's an entirely new species previously unknown to science until this very moment? The next footage is said to be a real-life UFO. There was no context to it, but it looks very real. Take a look. There is this very large craft, disc-shaped. The disc shape is classic, reminiscent of many UFO sightings reported over the years. The lack of context makes it even more intriguing. Where was this filmed? Who captured it? Well, we don't have answers, but under the comments of the original post, someone had this to say. We're not exactly sure where he got this information from, but there can only be two things involved here. Either he's trolling us so bad, or he's actually onto something. Next up, we've got supposed alien footage from Long Island, New York. Let's take a look. In the footage, we see a strange entity walking by, holding something in its hands. When you look closely, you'll notice this is not human. It features an eerie, alien-like, large, elongated head with what looks like big black eyes, fitting the total description of an alien. In its hand is a glowing object that appears to be covered. Anyone who sees this footage is quick to say it's an alien holding a baby. We haven't confirmed if it's true that someone's baby is missing after the incident, but there are plenty of stories about alien abductions. Others speculate that this could be a demon. Julius, however, believes this is either a person in a costume stealing at night or doctored footage meant to fool those who watch it. We all know how much he is against all the alien and mystical talk, so no surprises here, but what do you think? The recent eclipse that occurred on April the 8th, 2024 in the US has been a topic of discussion among many people. However, new footage has emerged that has raised some questions and theories about the authenticity of the event. In the footage, an individual can be seen using paper eyeglasses to observe the sky, and an eclipse appears to be taking place. However, the footage takes a strange turn when the individual takes off the glasses and moves the camera to show what's happening on the other side of the sky. And guess what? There's no eclipse on the other side. It's just a blue sky with the moon. You and I know that's not possible. Naturally, this has led to several questions being asked, such as how is it possible for an eclipse to appear on one side of the sky but not on the other side? This has led to various theories that the government may be involved in faking natural occurrences. Some even posted comments like this. Some even thought we were looking at a different planet altogether. The government isn't the only one being questioned, though. The authenticity of the footage is also being questioned. A number of individuals actually suspect that the clip has been edited. They even called the edit a poor one that failed to convince. Now, I understand their sentiments. We've never heard of a half-night, half-day sky. The video also does a poor job of convincing us that it's real, but perhaps that's just me subconsciously taking a side in all this. You've seen the clip. What do you also think? Tell us in the comments section. In 2011, the Ocean X team, a Swedish treasure hunting team, discovered this mysterious object on the seabed of the Baltic Sea. This object was called the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Naturally, this incident gained attention at the time. Initial sonar images of the anomaly revealed a large circular object about 60 meters in diameter, with features that appeared to be of artificial origin. Further investigation using underwater cameras and diving expeditions revealed additional details, including strange stone formations and linear tracks that resemble drag marks. This anomaly was never figured out, so led to a lot of debate. Some suggested that it could be a sunken ship, a natural rock formation, or even extraterrestrial in nature. Despite extensive study, scientists have been unable to determine the exact nature and origin of the Baltic Sea anomaly. If aliens do exist, then they must certainly be hiding from us. This footage was taken in the sky, showing donut-shaped discs in the clouds. They were positioned opposite each other and slanted away from each other. They had a reddish-orange hue and were just there suspended in the sky. Looking at the odd disc-like shape, many people believe there are clouds where UFOs are cloaked from human eyes. The unusual formation and the distinctive hue have fueled speculation that these could be alien spacecraft using advanced technology to blend in with their surroundings. On the other hand, skeptics like Julius argue that these are just lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds often form in the atmosphere when moist air flows over mountains or other obstacles, creating a lens-like shape that can sometimes appear quite unusual. So what are your thoughts? Are those alien crafts up there, or are these just clouds? AI is getting very good, so far so good that it's getting increasingly difficult to distinguish between AI-generated content and real life. However, some people believe that AI can never truly replicate the nuances of reality. Take a look at this footage and tell me it doesn't look real. It's a video of a pig underwater with all four legs, but with a fishtail. Yes, it seems very unrealistic. A pig fish, whimsical and bizarre. But just look at the quality of the footage. It looks incredibly real. The attention to detail in the video, such as the way light refracts through the water and the seamless integration of the pig's body with the fishtail, demonstrates the impressive capabilities of modern AI and CGI technology. Now imagine what AI will be able to create in just a few years. Still on UFOs discovered in the ocean, take a look at this one. This discovery was made by a team of explorers exploring the ocean depths. Now, when you look at it, it looks like a rusty saucer that's been left in the ocean for years, if not millennia. Upon closer inspection, the explorers noticed that it had intricate designs etched all over its surface. Although there is limited information available about this saucer, its discovery provides concrete evidence that there is some form of technology out there that does not belong to humans. If the footage is to be believed, then the professor in the previous clip might just have been right. Given the age we live in, though, the possibility of computer manipulation and CGI cannot be ruled out, even though the saucer appears to be eerily real. Many in the paranormal community did share their thoughts on the discovery. A number of them were skeptical. One person thought it was nothing more than a large seashell, but a closer look will show it's definitely not. Some even made fun of those who posted the clip. Despite the skepticism, however, some thought it might be real, just not what we're making it out to be, say a submerged submarine. However, I doubt any of the military submarines look anything like this. Some also stated it could be a UFO since they don't rust. Despite the skepticism, many held onto the belief it was a UFO. Some even called it a USO, that is, an identified submersible object. Having seen it yourself, share your personal observations. A strange wave anomaly was detected off the coast of Africa, causing a global stir on April 10, 2024. The anomaly was first detected by Ventusky, a meteorological app developed by the Czech company Inmedio. The app uses animated arcs to differentiate between wind waves and swells, giving users real-time insights into weather phenomena. The anomaly consisted of a cluster of waves that were over 80 feet high and spanned 2,000 miles, which is larger than the state of Texas. It appeared and lasted for around 24 hours before disappearing. This caught the attention of many people on social media platforms, including X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube. MRMBB333, a prominent figure in the exploration of unexplained phenomena, analyzed the anomaly in a YouTube video using Zoom Earth satellite maps to measure its dimensions. The anomaly's vast scale, larger than entire African nations and twice the size of Texas, inspired humorous and speculative responses from viewers. Many people speculated that such a large formation could only have been created by a subaquatic entity and dubbed it an Unidentified Submersible Object, or USO, similar to a UFO but beneath the waves. Others imagined a huge sea creature like the fictional Cthulhu or an alien vessel lurking under the water. However, Newsweek's investigations revealed a more mundane explanation, attributing the anomaly to a model error. Despite the disappointment from those hoping for a more exciting explanation, the event remains a fascinating meteorological phenomenon that captured the attention of millions around the world. But what do you think? Was it just an error, as they say, or are they hiding something? Imagine driving and seeing everyone stopping and coming out of their cars with their phones in their hands. You try to see what they are so intrigued by, and then you see this.
Ni idea. A mí no se mueve de ahí.
That's definitely not a Boeing, fighter jet, or any other type of plane we're used to. It definitely has to be of alien origin. I mean, it has that vibe, and people wouldn't be out of their cars recording an ordinary plane, unless, of course, the clip is doctored. Aaron doesn't think so, and Julius refused to comment because he thought we were just being ridiculous. Well, you've seen the clip. What do you think's going on here?
Ni idea. A mí no se mueve de ahí.
Olha, bicho, que é isso, mano? Cuidado, Judá. Cuidado, mano. Que é isso, mano?
Mano, não tem nada.
Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Bora, mano.
Late one night, police in a quiet area were called by residents about banging sounds coming from a building. Concerned, they suited up, grabbed their guns, and went to check it out. As you can see in the footage, it's pretty late. When they arrived, the banging noise was still ongoing, echoing through their empty street. It was coming from a door that was repeatedly opening and closing. One of the officers cautiously approached the door, stepping through first while the rest followed. The person filming also entered and turned back to see if there was someone behind the door causing the banging, but there was no one. The wind wasn't blowing, and the door was wooden and heavy. As they stood there, the door continued its eerie motion, creaking and banging without any visible force acting on it. The officers checked the surroundings looking for any sign of tampering or natural causes, but everything seemed normal. After a while, things got really weird, and that spooks the officers. As they hurriedly tried to get out of the place, one of them's body cam captures something rather eerie and disturbing. We only see a face, but not what it is. Could this being have been behind the whole thing, or are we just reading more meaning into things than we should? I'll leave that up to you to decide.
Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, mano.
On the shores of an unknown location, this massive creature was discovered, and it looked quite peculiar. Its skin was covered with a thick layer of dust, which made it even more difficult to identify the exact species. The creature appeared to be deceased, and its eyes were bulging out, which was quite a disturbing sight. The size of the creature was enormous, which made it even more intriguing to examine. It's still unclear whether it's a new species of fish or an unknown creature that's been living in the depths of the sea. Further analysis and research are required to determine its exact origin and species, but what do you think it is? During this gathering, a small and unusual creature was present, unbeknownst to most of the attendees. The creature had striking animalistic features, particularly noticeable in its ears and face, which stood out from the typical appearance of cats or dogs. It was not a common pet, nor did it resemble a rag. A young girl who stumbled upon the creature identified it as a duende, a mythical creature from Latin American folklore. Despite the excitement surrounding the gathering, the creature remained unperturbed, sitting silently and calmly, observing the contestants as they prepared to swim. What do you think it was doing there? What would you have done if you were the one who'd noticed it? Let us know in the comments section.
El que habita la brisa.
Now, speaking of possession, this strange-looking girl is said to be possessed. She's been in this state for months, and despite the efforts of numerous priests and spiritual healers, no one has been able to help her. Her appearance has drastically changed over this period. Her face has taken on an eerie, almost inhuman look. Her teeth have transformed, looking sharp and unnatural. Her eyes have a glossy, otherworldly sheen, adding to her unsettling appearance. What's even more disturbing is her behavior. She frequently screams out, seemingly in pain or terror, sending chills down the spines of those who hear her. These outbursts are unpredictable and add to the fear surrounding her condition. Her family and friends are desperate, having tried everything they can think of to help her. They've turned to every possible source, from traditional religious rituals to modern medical treatments, but nothing seems to work. In the clip, for instance, there's a man apparently praying for her and trying to cast out the demon or whatever it is that's haunting her. The more the man tries and tries, the more she shouts, "Shut up!" In the end, it doesn't really work, and the community is left in a state of fear and confusion, unsure of what to do next. Some people believe she is genuinely possessed by a demonic entity, pointing to her unhuman features and terrifying behavior as evidence. Skeptics, on the other hand, suggest that there might be a medical or psychological explanation for her condition. What say you?
El que habita la brisa. El que habita.
It's not every day you run into someone doing what this lady is doing. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but that woman is actually eating raw fish. The person who sent this in thought she was eating a pigeon, but no, it's raw fish. Not that it makes it any better. With the internet being the internet, a number of individuals have come forward to state that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. The big question, however, is that really true? This person, for instance, thinks it's no different from sushi, and many agreed with him. What do you think?
Они режутся подиваровать. Мы можем что-нибудь делать.
When I first saw this, I was convinced I was looking at a tractor beam. This was recorded in Sokolov, where individuals traveling by road suddenly noticed a burst of light from the ground to the sky, or vice versa. When they looked at the sky, they could tell the light source was hitting or originating from something, but couldn't make out exactly what it was. This led to a number of them to conclude they were dealing with something alien. They uploaded the clip online, and surely enough, many who saw it believed this had to be a tractor beam connected to a UFO in the sky. While the thought excited many, some were also with the view that there had to be a more grounded explanation. Say LiDAR technology, which allegedly can look like this if used light in a visible spectrum. I'm no expert in this area, so can't say much about it. Anyway, what do you guys think?
Они режутся подиваровать. Мы можем что-нибудь делать.
Shapeshifting has long been a topic of fascination and mystery. It's often attributed to legends, folklore, or paranormal encounters. A recent clip from a security camera has reignited this discussion. The footage shows a small, white, rabbit-like creature on the ground suddenly transforming into a man who quickly runs away. As the figure moves, it seems to glitch in and out of sight. This has led many viewers to speculate that the entity could be a shapeshifter. However, the glitching makes it even easier. Could it be a technological anomaly in the camera, or is it a deliberate cloaking mechanism by an otherworldly being?
В воде просто трындец. Куда вот это заехали? Твою мать, что за наклон? Не знаю, видно нет, эта фигня крутится. Смерч сраный, господи. Сейчас нас по ней пойдем.
Next, we've got this clip that was taken by some men at sea. They witnessed a strange transparent tube extending from the sky to the water's surface. Naturally, they were baffled by what they saw, and watching the clip, well, I was too. The tube, seemingly clear and shimmering, stretched down from the clouds, touching the ocean in a surreal and almost otherworldly display. No one can say for certain what this transparent tube is or what it could be doing. It's an enigmatic phenomenon that has left everyone scratching their heads. The footage has drawn a lot of attention, with various theories circulating online. One of the commenters on the original post stated, "There's a UFO above the clouds siphoning water out of the ocean through that vacuum tube you see here in the video." In this age of alien talk and increased interest in extraterrestrial phenomenon, well, who's to say this comment isn't right, but I have questions. Why would they need water from our planet? Well, perhaps it's for research. And when you think about it, the idea of a UFO using some advanced technology to draw water from the ocean is as plausible as any other explanation, given the lack of concrete evidence. What are your thoughts on this, though? Do you think that there could be a more mundane explanation, or does this footage hint at something beyond our current understanding?
А что, нормально так-то?
Next, we've got a clip that was taken off the coast of New Hampshire. Some fishing boats were out on the sea when something incredible happened. The footage shows a boat ahead, and suddenly a massive whale appears out of the water and slams into it. Just look at that. The impact is powerful, sending the boat sinking into the water almost instantly. It's a dramatic and dangerous scene, and luckily it doesn't look like anyone was seriously injured. Naturally, a collision with such a large marine animal should cause serious injury or worse, but looks like they were lucky this time. Whales are magnificent creatures, but they can also be unpredictable, especially when they breach the water's surface. This video serves as a reminder of the immense power of nature and the importance of caution when out at sea. The fishermen on the other boats must have been in shock witnessing such a rare and intense event. This kind of encounter is not only dangerous but also incredibly rare, making it a moment they'll likely never forget. A man found this strange, dried-up thing sticking out of a tree. Curious, he used an old bottle to scoop it off the bark, and when he looked inside, this thing looked like a fish, but it was still alive. How was a fish stuck inside a tree, dried up, and somehow still moving? I couldn't wrap my head around it until I saw this comment. Apparently, the tree was once underwater, and at some point, a fish got trapped inside. Over the years, the water dried up, leaving the fish embedded in the tree. But how does a fish survive for years like that? Seriously, is this even possible? Can someone explain this? This grandmother was hanging out with her granddaughter in the living room when something strange happened. The little girl pointed at something in the dining room that was out of the camera's view. When the grandmother asked her what she was looking at, the toddler said she was pointing at the dining room. The grandmother told her to take her hand and show her, but the little girl was too scared to go there. So the grandmother walked over and scolded this invisible presence in their dining room. When the family saw the footage, they were all scared. At first, they thought the little girl was just playing with an imaginary friend, but according to the family, the situation was getting worse by the day. It wasn't as innocent or cute as we often see with imaginary friends. In the footage, you can see that the little girl is genuinely terrified of whatever she's seeing. We don't see anything out of the ordinary in the clip, but do you think the child is really seeing things, or it's just an overactive imagination at work?
What? Who's coming?
Him coming.
Who?
Him.
You see somebody back there?
Him.
Who?
Him.
Him?
Yeah.
Where's he at? Is he in our house?
Yeah.
Where? Show me.
Have you ever seen a swordfish attack a human? No? Well, our next clip will show you that their names aren't just for show. Enjoy. These men were out at sea catching some fish when something unexpected happened. One of them had hooked a fish and was reeling it in, but the fish began to jump wildly in and out of the water. Before they knew it, the fish was inside the boat, thrashing about furiously. The commotion was intense as the fish flailed around the deck. It was a close call because this fish had a pointed mouth and was quite sizable, which could have caused serious injury. One of the men lost his balance and nearly fell overboard, but fortunately he landed back in the boat. I know I mentioned a swordfish earlier, but this isn't one. Despite their similar appearance, this is actually a blue marlin. Blue marlins are renowned for their incredible strength and agility, making them quite a handful when caught. Their long, sharp bills can be dangerous, making encounters like this particularly risky. If you ask me, they're quite lucky to have escaped the encounter without anyone being fatally wounded. There's no doubt that the experience left them both exhilarated and shaken. Our next clip is one that has been circulating the internet for a while. It's said to have been taken by a man out in Antarctica. He was out there in the snow when he came across this mysterious cave. The inside of the cave looked like a spiral of black and white lines, creating a dizzying, almost hypnotic effect. But what could this cave be? One popular theory is that the cave might be an ancient structure possibly created by an advanced civilization or even extraterrestrial beings. There are some who also think it's the site of a secret government project and wonder why and how the man was able to get that close. For the longest time, people have believed that Antarctica is a place of many secrets. Perhaps this could be one of them. Unfortunately, the person behind the camera does not go inside to confirm the suspicion, so all we can do is only speculate. But what do you think is in there?
Tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. Mira, 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 mira.
La tentación, líbranos y guárdanos de todo mal. Amén. Mira.
Mira. No mames. ¿Qué pedo?
A couple got home one night from a late-night hike to find this on their car. A strange-looking woman sitting right on the hood of their vehicle. She was holding a white cloth, cradling it in her hands like it was a baby. The woman herself did not look normal. Her face was grotesque, with dark, uneven skin that seemed almost decayed. Her hair was a tangled mess, falling limp over her head. Her attire was a tattered black robe. It looked like it had seen centuries of wear. The scared couple began to pray, hoping it would ward off whatever they were witnessing, but their prayers didn't seem to have much effect. The woman shifted her position slightly, still perched on the hood, her dark, soulless eyes scanning the area. What could this be? A ghostly apparition, a witch, or something entirely beyond explanation?
Tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. Mira, 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 mira.
La tentación, líbranos y guárdanos de todo mal. Amén. Mira.
Mira, no mames. ¿Qué pedo?
A man went hiking with his son up a mountain, enjoying the serene beauty of nature, but on their way down, something truly nerve-wracking happened.
Andavi la schiena, lui fa I cavoli suoi.
The man holding a camera was filming his son as he carefully descended the rocky path. That's when the unexpected visitor appeared, a large bear quietly trailing behind the boy. The bear didn't appear aggressive, it was more curious than anything else. It moved cautiously, keeping its eyes on the boy, who showed incredible bravery and composure. Instead of panicking or running, the boy calmly and steadily continued his descent. Bears are massive, powerful, and undeniably dangerous. Most people would have bolted in fear, but they can trigger a predatory chase instinct. This boy's composure likely saved him from a much worse situation. So what about you? Would you have been able to stay as calm as this boy in such a moment?
Geniale, vieni.
Light orbs are one of the most enigmatic phenomena that have been studied all over the world. In this footage, a man was out one night on his farm when he noticed something strange. That was an orb floating over the cornfield. He tries to get a better look at the orb, but it just floats away, evading his approach. These orbs continue to baffle and intrigue people. Some believe that they're alien-related, perhaps representing some form of extraterrestrial technology or presence, while skeptics, on the other hand, argue that these orbs are ordinary and or can be explained by natural phenomena. There is something about this footage, however, that gives me the creeps. The way the orbs move so deliberately and silently over the cornfield, and the way it seems to respond to the man's presence by floating away, all contribute to its eerie nature. What do you think? A man woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom when he saw something strange in his backyard. A coconut tree stood in the distance, stripped of all its leaves and branches, leaving only a long, bare trunk. What caught the man's eye, however, was the unusual sight perched atop the trunk, a goat-like creature sitting at the very peak. Coconut trees are known for their great height and smooth trunks, making them nearly impossible to climb. There was nothing around that could assist any creature in reaching the top, yet there he was sitting at the top. What made the sight even more chilling was that they had no animals, no goats, no pets at all. The man thought about waking his family, but was unsure if they would believe him or if they could even do anything about it. The creature remained there for what felt like an eternity, though it was likely only a few minutes. For some odd reason, he went back inside and somehow managed to sleep. The next morning, he went outside to investigate, but the creature was gone. There were no tracks, no signs of how it got there or how it left. The only remnant of the creature's visit is this clip, and not many even think it's authentic. What say you? Snakes are already considered some of the most dangerous creatures in the wild, but imagine a snake with two heads. Now that's truly trouble. A man stumbled upon something truly incredible. This two-headed snake slithered across the ground. The snake's body starts out as one, but halfway down it splits into two fully formed heads. In nature, occurrences like this are rare but not entirely unheard of. This phenomenon, known as bicephaly, happens due to two abnormalities during development, similar to how conjoined twins are formed in humans. It's been seen in other animals too, like turtles and lizards. However, cultural interpretations of two-headed creatures vary widely. In some cultures, they're seen as bad omens believed to bring misfortune. In others, they're regarded as symbols of good luck or divine intervention. So what do you think? Is this a fascinating quirk of nature, or does it carry a deeper, more mystical meaning? This was captured in Guatemala, Mexico. What do you think it is? I mean, it does look like a flying craft in the skies, but its shape and the way its lights are spread is unlike any craft we're used to seeing on this planet. This leaves us with more questions than answers. What exactly is this thing, and why is it moving through the skies of Guatemala? The paranormal community believes this is a normal in Mexico. Not sure if you know this, but many consider Mexico a hotspot for alien encounters, and this clip only proves them right. They believe this is a saucer whose cloaking mechanism may have failed or malfunctioned. I'm not too sure about that though, but hey, what do I know? While on a cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico, a group of men captured some intriguing footage in the sky. It was after sundown, so the sky was dark. Amid the darkness, they spotted an orb of light flying across the sky. The orb moved from left to right, then circled back to the left in a smooth, deliberate motion. The men were convinced this light was some sort of UFO. The light was steady and bright, standing out clearly against the night sky. In times like these, it's fascinating to think about the possibilities. Was it a secret military craft, an advanced drone, or perhaps something more extraterrestrial? Aaron states it being an angel is an alternative, but Julius says it's a shore. Anyway, kindly share your thoughts. A man was sitting at home one night, sitting behind his computer. He was filming at the time when his camera captured something eerie at the window behind him. It seemed the man saw it too because he quickly got up and went outside to check if what he saw was still there, but by the time he got there, it was gone. Now, I know what you're wondering. You're wondering what he saw. Let's take a closer look at the footage in slow motion. It was a large, pale, alien-like head with huge black eyes peering right into the room through the glass window. As soon as the man noticed the creature, it swiftly vanished without a trace. The sighting lasted only a few minutes, but it was enough to leave a lasting impression. The creature's face was unmistakable, smooth, almost featureless, except for those enormous black, unblinking eyes. The man's reaction was immediate and understandable. Seeing something so strange and unsettling would send anyone rushing to investigate. Yet when he stepped outside, the mysterious figure had disappeared, leaving behind no evidence of its presence. Some find him filming just a bit too convenient, leading them to believe this footage is fake. What say you? This strange video was captured in June 2024. It shows something truly strange and unexplainable. A woman whose backyard opens up to a dense woodland area, recording an eerie sight that has left many wondering about its origin. From deep within the woods, a mysterious light could be seen flashing among the trees. Unlike the usual flicker of flames from a fire, this light glowed a peculiar orange hue. What made it even more unsettling was its shape. It appeared as a half arc. Not to sound like the science nerd, but these are the kinds of faces and heads you'd expect with high-tech mechs. There's also the possibility of it being a UFO. I mean, look at it. The individual recording refused to get closer and went indoors after recording this. If we are being sincere, I understand them, but what do you think? Could this be evidence of something extraordinary like a UFO crash landing in the woods? Or is there a more down-to-earth explanation for this, like a malfunctioning power line or some heavy-duty equipment? Let's hear your thoughts.
Se quedó quieto, no se mueve. En un solo punto. ¿Será un ovni?
A resident in Concordia shared some intriguing footage online. The video shows a disc-shaped UFO hovering in the sky. What's strange is that it wasn't moving at all, it just hung there completely static. The sighting has sparked a wave of speculation. Some believe it's undeniable proof of extraterrestrial life, while others argue it could be seen as some sort of advanced military technology. Of course, skeptics claim it might just be a cleverly executed hoax or drone with unusual modifications. What do you think it is?
Se quedó quieto, no se mueve. En un solo punto. ¿Será un ovni?
I don't know. It's like something... I don't... You gotta watch this video.
This footage was taken at night and shows a mysterious golden light in the sky that keeps flickering. The light seems to enlarge and then become smaller, repeating this process throughout the entire video. As the camera focuses on the light, it becomes clear that its behavior is unusual. It doesn't move like a plane or a helicopter, and the flickering pattern is too irregular to be a star or a planet. The way it changes size also adds to the intrigue, making it appear as though it's pulsing or breathing. So what could this be? Some people insist it's a UFO, given its strange and unpredictable behavior. The changing size and flickering could be seen as evidence of an extraterrestrial craft, perhaps using technology that we don't understand. Before you call it fake, some in the comments section of the original post believe they have seen it too.
Oh, whoa.
What the fuck is that?
This footage was taken by an observer in the dark of the night. A strange-looking object with lights on, it was spotted in the sky. The object itself is not visible, only the lights on it can be seen, making it difficult to determine exactly what it is. The lights appear to be arranged in a pattern that suggests a structured form, but the darkness obscures any definitive shape or details. Some people believe it's a UFO, pointing to the unusual formation and behavior of the lights as evidence of something otherworldly. Skeptics, however, think it might be a blue beam projection, a technology purported to create realistic holograms in the sky. What are your thoughts?
What the fuck is that?
I have 3 clips shared by 3 different people in New York. The first 2 were taken on the same day, January the 26th, 2025, whereas the third was taken on the 2nd of February 2025. So basically, they're all recent. The first clip is already playing, but let's take a closer look. In this first clip, a man noticed the sky light up in a bright blue color.
Coming from Con Edison over there.
The blue light flickered and occasionally shifted to red for a brief moment before returning to blue. The second clip shows the same phenomenon, vivid blue and red lights illuminating the sky. Strangely, there's no visible source for the light.
You see that? Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh, drone.
The third clip was taken on February the 2nd, 2025, and also shows the sky light up in blue before the light suddenly stops.
Wait, what? Hold on. No. Yeah, hold on. Am I tripping?
When people started asking what was going on, officials claimed it was a blown transformer. However, no evidence of this supposed transformer was ever shown. The way the sky lit up suggests the light could be coming from behind the clouds. I don't think transformers are up there blowing up exactly 1 week apart, right? So if the obvious reason isn't the obvious reason, what is really going on? Many in the paranormal community are leaning toward Project Bluebeam for this one, but let's hear your thoughts.
Is y'all seeing that? Wait, what? Hold on. No. Yeah, hold on. Am I tripping?
Do you remember the Miami Mall alien incident that happened back in 2024? The one where police flooded the place and people were seen running in panic, claiming they had seen a 9-foot-tall gray alien? Not sure if you already know, but later authorities dismissed it as just some kid setting off fireworks. Well, this guy in the video right here was one of the people sent to the hospital after the loud explosive sounds were heard, supposedly from the fireworks. He filmed his encounter after being treated. But while at the hospital, he was asked to sit and wait for the government official to come and talk to him. For some reason, he left without the knowledge of the doctors or police, and the moment he did, the power went out. According to him, he knew it was because of him. Since then, a series of bizarre events have followed. He goes by the name of Fitz, and after sharing this, he's gone missing. Naturally, people assume that something sinister must have happened to him, either involving the government or aliens, but that's just speculation at this point. What do you think really happened?
What the?
A man kayaking came across something unusual in the ocean. It was a long, strange-looking creature in the water. Curious, he used his paddle to lift part of it up and take a closer look. At first, I thought it might be some sort of eel-like creature, but it was something entirely different. The creature looked like a cluster of transparent organisms all connected. Intrigued, I did some research and discovered that it was real and actually had a name. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a sulp chain. Despite looking at this single organism, sulp chains are actually composed of many individual animals called sulps that join together to form a long, connected colony. Each sulp is genetically identical and contributes to the overall function of the chain. These individuals have specialized roles, primarily focused on feeding and propulsion. By coordinating their movements, the sulps sufficiently propel the chain through the water. This particular sulp chain was mesmerizing in its appearance. Its transparent, barrel-shaped bodies allowed light to pass through, creating a shimmering effect as they moved. The individual sulps were arranged in a rhythmic, linear formation, drifting gracefully in the ocean currents and working in perfect harmony to navigate the vast open waters. This footage was recorded by a man who was woken up by strange screams in the middle of the night. Now, most of us would probably hide under the covers and call for help. The most we may do is grab a flashlight, but not this guy. Oh no, He went out to see what it was, and this is what he found. Hanging from the tree is this ghostly figure disturbing the whole neighborhood. The first thing that came to my mind was a ghost, but why the screaming though? Is it an evil spirit having a midnight meltdown on the tree branches, or did someone lose their way during a creepy costume party? I mean, who hangs out on a tree in the middle of the night? The footage abruptly ends there, so we don't know if the man went further to investigate or if he just retired to bed. What do you think that thing is, though? Any experience? Believe me when I say I've lived and experienced the supernatural, be it on land, sea, and even sky. One thing I haven't, however, seen or experienced is this. I simply don't know what we're dealing with here. Does any of you know? Please do share in the comments section. Oh, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies, if you know what I mean. Huh, wow, that rhymed. Anyway, I'll be reading. Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now let's continue with the day's episode. A woman working at a trauma center walked into a room and saw the heart monitor was on and actively reading, but the room was empty. No one was hooked up to the machine. This freaked her out because just the day before, a patient had passed away in that very room. The room had been cleaned, cleared, and reset for a new patient, yet here it was, still showing a heartbeat. How is this even happening? Is it just a technical glitch, or is something else lingering in that room? Could it be a ghost? She definitely does believe that's what's happening, but there's no way to test this hypothesis scientifically. The garbage man was out on his usual early morning shift around 4 a.m. when he parked his truck to collect some trash. But when he returned, he saw something he never expected. Inside the hopper, which is, the part of the truck where garbage is poured, was a person. At least that's what it looked like. You can see legs sticking out, moving up and down, while hands slap against bare thighs. But here's the creepy part. The person never lifts their head, so we can't see their face. The legs, however, look very much alive. The video cuts off there, so we never see what happens next. Did the garbage man call for help? Did the person say anything, or did they just vanish into the trash? If this was a real person, they were either mentally unstable or doing something very, very strange and dangerous. I mean, it could have just been a bizarre prank, but I have a feeling that there's something more unsettling going on here. This girl was in a studio filming herself in front of a massive mirror. Everything seemed normal until it wasn't. As she turned to face the mirror and bent down to pick something up, something moved near the door. You wouldn't notice it at first, but in the mirror's reflection, a dark figure briefly appeared. The girl saw it too. She froze for a split second before panicking and bolting out of the room. Now, watch closely. The moment she turns around to face whatever she sees, the figure vanishes. It wasn't just a shadow. It had shape, presence, something almost human, but not quite. I've watched this over and over, and I have my theories. I'd love to hear yours, however. What do you think just happened?
So, this is a turning board, and I'm going
One of the most dangerous creatures in the sea is, without a doubt, the shark. Now imagine you're deep underwater when suddenly a shark emerges from behind you. This exact scenario happened to a diver who was swimming in the deep sea. Out of nowhere, a shark approached him and, with its powerful jaws, grabbed onto the diver's oxygen tank. It even shook him slightly, almost as if testing its grip. At this point, you'd expect the worst, but surprisingly, the shark released him and swam away, almost like he was playing a prank on the diver. This man must have been shaken to his core, but he's incredibly lucky. Imagine having a close encounter like this and living to tell the tale. Definitely want to share with his kids someday. If someone told me I would be reviewing a shadow lashing out or hitting someone when I began my day-to-day, well, I would have laughed, but that's exactly what we see in the clip playing on your screen now. The woman in the footage is named Case. According to her, she was simply heading out for a quick errand, nothing out of the ordinary. That's at least what she thought until she approached the front door. There, something unseen grabbed the hood of her jacket and yanked her backwards with such force that it knocked her to the floor. No one was behind her, no hands, no explanation, just the feeling of something pulling. Startled, she tore the jacket off and backed away with her heart racing, and that's when things took a darker turn. Far around the corner, a figure appeared, not just any figure, but something tall, faceless, and completely shrouded in shadow. It was so massive that it had to duck to pass through the doorway. There was no mistaking it. This was not human. Panicked, Kays ran into the kitchen, shouting at the entity to leave her alone, but instead of retreating, the shadow rushed at her with terrifying speed. She bolted into the bathroom and locked the door, shaking and breathless. Her dogs erupted into a frenzy of barking, clearly sensing that something unnatural had invaded her home. Somehow she survived the experience, but that left her and us with a lot of questions. What exactly are we looking at here? Why did it attack her? Would it be coming back again? I know I usually have answers to these rhetorical questions, but today I simply have no answers.
Leave me alone!
And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. I'm Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Share this with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.